Welcome to the Brothers Woods podcast. My name is Jared. That's Josh over there. This is Payne laughing at my intro. And that one's Tyler. They're
I'm
not
back.
talking, so.
I'm fucking back.
I was thinking about the ski thing we always talk about. Welcome to the Brothers Woods.
That's me. Welcome to the Brothers Woods podcast.
We're back, though. We're reviewing Blade Runner 2049, talking about it, discussing it. I loved it.
That
Just
sounds
saying that
pretty
right
good.
now.
It's less of a review, more of like a shared experience.
Exactly.
Really.
Exactly. And
Yeah, they were just discussing and reviewing. It's good.
It was fantastic. I fucking love it. This might be my favorite. It might be, depending on what the next few movies are, but it might be my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, I'm there completely. Favorite movie of the year until the new Star Wars comes out, and then
True.
we'll see.
True.
Yeah.
New Star Wars is coming in Christmas.
Thor
is gonna- there's a
Ragnarok
lot
might be
of
good
things
too,
that
so
are-
we'll see on that.
I mean, whatever.
But on that note, what did you guys think on a personal basis?
I thought it was pretty. I thought it looked great. The
Cinematography.
the cinnamon photography.
The cinnamon
was-
photography.
was fucking amazing.
It was.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
It was deliciously like for my eyes. My eyes were real satisfied.
Pain?
Where you at?
I thought it was beautiful. I love the noir, but it moves a bit slow. I get that it's supposed to be all these elements of dystopia and corporate things mixed with past elements like slavery and stuff like that. It moves a little slow, but I mean, I think I would enjoy it more on a rewatch after I'd kind of like got past the plot and could just sit back and enjoy it, because I think I was too focused on looking for meaning in the plot rather
Yeah.
than the whole story.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I kind of said something like this to Tyler the other day. People were saying that they didn't enjoy it because people didn't understand it, right? Which is, I mean, true. If you don't understand it, then you're not going to enjoy it. That's like any movie, really. But I don't necessarily know that that's why people weren't enjoying it. I think maybe it was because they were going in looking for like, let me get this like standard sort of plot where you set everything up and then there's sort of a really satisfying resolution at the end or something. And that's not what this movie did at all. It was just like, what's the deal with Kay? And what's the deal with this world? It really had like a very, very small spoiler is Wallace, the guy that Jared Leto plays, is barely in this movie. And a lot of people were complaining, like, why introduce this cool character and then, or whatever you think about him, but have him barely be in the movie? And it's like, because it's not about him. It's not about him at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. I think people were just looking for, like, they're used to a different type of story. And this isn't telling that same type of, it doesn't have the same structure as that.
Yeah, I feel that.
It was
Go ahead.
it was a lot more like loose, like yeah, it just wasn't a real tight plot.
It wasn't
was a
like-
good one.
it
I
wasn't-
liked it.
Yeah, I think it was just all about showing,
It's very minimal dialogue. Like it wasn't based on them.
Yeah,
What's it when you explain shit?
Um,
Exposé?
Exposition. There was like
Exposition, yeah.
zero fucking exposition. There wasn't
well,
any
they
like
do a
I'm
lot of-
doing this because of these reasons.
they do a lot of Ryan Gosling just like staring out and it's like, boom, and then you're just like here's a couple minutes to think about what he's thinking about right now.
They weren't even like filming the movie at that point. That was just like they
That
just
was-
caught his life. Like that's just what he
Well,
does.
Just staring there like, wow, this is really cool.
It's like,
that's
holy
what
shit,
when
this
Jared
is
was
rad.
going on. That's kind of what they did. Like this movie wasn't about like a normal plot line. It was just following Kay as he figured out what the fuck was going on, and then that was it. Like that's the resolution. He figured out what was happening. Like
Way late.
Yeah.
way late, but he figured out the resolution. And
But I think, I mean, I don't know that much about film noir because I'm not a, film guy or
Buff.
from the 60s. But, like, that's what the kind of point of noir is generally, right? It's not about the resolution. Like, a normal resolution in noir is like, oh, well, I couldn't beat the bad guys, so I just quit.
Well, yeah, it's like the literal translation is just like shadow or whatever. So it's kind of just like it's all dark and like
Yeah.
dank and wet all the time. And
Yeah,
it's a mystery.
But it's more like atmospheric.
But it's supposed to be realistic. Yeah, it's like realism.
Yeah, and it's kind of realism
It's like
and
it's
stuff.
not always gonna be fucking honky dory.
It's about
happy day at the end.
Letting you look at, like, a real take on characters, almost. It's probably what I imagine it. So, that's what I think this is all about.
It's like an elongated vignette.
Yeah. So I think if you go into this thinking like as a standard movie, you're not going to like it. But if you go into it thinking like, let's just see what this is about, and you slow down because it's slow. It's very slow.
yeah,
I'll give you that.
It shares that with the original for sure.
It's a blockbuster art film.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it.
Like if you're going in because you want to watch a movie and like just turn it off
Big
and kind of
explosions
just
and
like
action.
if you want like a dumb no thinking movie. I mean, not that it's like a
Law-abiding
brilliant
citizen.
thinking movie. That movie. It's not Law Abiding Citizen, but Law Abiding Citizen is perfect. So it's just perfect in a different way.
I mean, yeah, they have their own thing.
Maybe, like-
this movie's like, oh, I mean, I feel like you said it's not really a thinking, but I think it is kind of a thinking movie. Maybe not as much as the original, but in the fact that they breach topics that make you think about our own reality and our own world. Whereas most, like a lot of these other like big blockbuster movies are like, all right, big bad guy, kill big bad guy, over, yay.
Mark Wahlberg is gonna fuck up some Transformers. Let's go.
I kind of disagree, Josh. I felt like the first movie was less thinking because it kind of had more of a plot. It's like, okay, here is Deckard. He needs to kill these four replicants that came back world. And it seemed like there was kind of something they were working towards. And the theme / thinking points of the movie were like, kind of seeing how those replicants dealt with their mortality, and in the end, Roy
Yeah.
at the end making that speech about his memories being like tears in the rain and all that washing away. It was like thinking, but I thought the new one had a lot more to it because there wasn't such that mission. It was more like Jared was saying, a search about Kay's self. So there was a lot more questioning in it. But I do like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a lot more time in the new one to think about that stuff. Because like they really just like wah and you look out. So it's that's what it's a good soundtrack, but
I love that
when
though.
you're at the
Fucking-
IMAX and
it's-
it's fucking
it's-
loud as shit.
It's the best blah since fucking
It's really
Inception.
good.
Like that's an Inception level blah. It's been great.
Which was also a fantastic movie.
I was happy.
That one was
about
more
that.
like.
What I enjoyed so much of the first one was that, wow, that's a beautiful long shot of Harrison Ford looking beautiful right there. And they gave us a lot more.
Fair
This is
point.
Ryan Gosling, and
Man.
you're like, yes.
Man, look at that jacket. Every jacket in Blade Runner is tight as fuck.
Yeah, me and Jay were just talking about that. I was like, I'm a little big right now, so I don't think I can pull it off. But if I do actually get back in shape, hopefully in a year and a half, I'm definitely feeling like I'm about to get one of those Ryan Gosling jackets.
You need
That
to
shit
believe
was
in yourself.
Yeah.
Year in 3.
dope.
Even Edward James, almost his like fairly minor character. I saw a picture of him the other day, and I was like, his jacket is tight as fuck too. Like the costume department kills it in every Blade Runner.
Fucking, it's doing great. Fucking, I mean, that's kind of one of the main things of Blade Runner. Though. Like, we can't fuck up how it looks.
Yeah, you're
at
right.
all. We have too much. There's too much. We've seen too much. We can't not say this is the shitty version. It's fine.
Yeah, you're. If you go in there and like the costume is bad, then like it's an instant turn off that type of movie. Honestly,
Yeah.
everything environmental wise has to be on point for how slow the movie is.
Oh, it's great. I thought it was great.
because you have to be mesmerized, I think, by the visuals,
I was.
and I was too.
I was
Yeah,
like, this
I
shit's
was-
pretty.
The only thing I didn't like about this movie was that I saw it in IMAX and that I had to like cover my ears
Okay,
when big
so
things happen because it was so
You're
loud.
just like the theater. That's theater settings.
Yeah.
Like, you know they can turn that
You're
down.
not a big theater.
Yeah, I'm not a big theater guy, but I'm just saying the movie itself, I 100% on. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Great.
Actually, I was
experience.
just about to compare it to, I don't know if y'all saw this, but when we saw Valerian, that was another one of
I
those
did not
very
go see that
visually
movie.
stunning movies, except for it didn't have a good plot, whereas this one I feel like had a much better
Oh, yeah.
kind of plot thing.
Yeah,
Well, I
better
think-
character
Better
casting.
character, better casting.
Well, I
yeah.
think the best thing they did with it is they did kind of hold back on like actually pushing the actors to go, but like be bigger and be more excited, be more like dialogue-y because they already had so much hitting you just visually.
True.
It's like it would have just
But
drowned it out.
I think they also kind of did that because they're replicants. And then the first one, the replicants are really eccentric, which
Yeah.
is awesome. It's really cool to see these guys who are like, they've been around for like 3 years, but they're grown ass people. And they're just going crazy because they're all about to die.
Oh yeah.
I love Leon in the first one. Leon, especially when he fights Deckard that first time.
You mean, Leon?
Leon's the brown mustached
Oh,
one
yeah,
that,
yeah,
that,
the
the,
first guy.
that the Rachel shoots, the replicant shoots to save Deckard, because he's just like you said, they're so young, but it's like a giant kid.
Yeah, exactly. They're like coming to terms with their mortality and stuff, but they're like 3 years old. I mean, they have memories, I guess, and stuff, but it's a little weird because it feels like they're just developing sentience almost. Is almost how it kind of feels like to me.
Yeah. Anyways, here, let's go ahead and give what your score for it, because we're going to move into spoilers now, so that way we can kind of talk about spoilers. If you want to give your score, we'll start at Jared.
10 out of 10. 9.8 out of 10.
Okay, so 9.8 out of 10. He loves it.
Let's be a little
Payne?
careful in there.
I guarantee you Jared's going to change a score before the end again.
9.7.
It's like, you know what? End of the day, 4 out of 20.
8.8. 8.8 out of 10.
Payne gives it an 8.8.
Yes.
I
Okay.
Yeah, for me to elaborate on it.
8.8.
I said
Yeah,
9.8.
Oh, 8.8 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking like 8 out of 8.
You
I
were
was like
8 out of 8 out of
he's
10.
giving his own fucking ending point.
1 out of 1.
I was like confused as shit for a second there.
That's a
Fucking
42 out of 30.
5 tenths. 5 tenths.
So it was like a whole nother
fucking
movie.
as a movie, 10 out of 10. Compared to like my favorite movies, I'd probably give it like a 6 or 7. Just because of like there isn't a whole lot to rewatch. There isn't a whole lot to go back to. It was pretty straightforward. Like once you get to the end
That's
and
fair.
watch the whole movie,
That's fair. Yeah.
but it's pretty to look at. I'd have it play in the background
Oh,
while I was
for sure.
doing other things.
I'm probably going to buy it when it comes out and watch it again
Yeah.
and see if it.
Blu-ray is definitely a possibility on this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I'd give. I don't like to give anything completely perfect because I don't think anything can be completely perfect. But
Except
probably like
Iron
a
Fist.
9.5 out of 10 or something.
Say Iron Fist?
The Man with the Iron Fist,
Oh, okay.
the perfect movie, the perfect film.
Yeah, probably like a 9.5 out of 10. I fucking loved it. Like I said, it's probably gonna be my favorite movie of the year. We'll see when Star Wars comes out, but I don't even know if Star Wars is gonna
Christmas.
compete within reality.
It's Christmas, so we
Yeah.
got a while too. And then
But-
there's Pacific Rim 2. Well, no, that comes out next year.
Yeah. Pacific Rim 2.
Uprising.
Electric Boogaloo.
Uprising Boogaloo.
After watching the first Pacific Rim, I'm not sure if this one's gonna be.
thought.
That's what everyone thinks when you hear that. You're a sequel.
Fucking Pacific Rim was almost the perfect movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you being serious right now? Because I loved it, but
When am I,
thought
not
it was
going to
good,
be
but
serious?
I
I don't
definitely
know.
did not.
I'm always serious when I
You're
talk about
dripping with
Pacific
sarcasm.
Rim. Nah,
You're dripping.
nah,
I see
nah.
it dripping off of you.
nah. Pacific Rim is fucking amazing.
remember Charlie Day as the crazy scientist?
Remember the 50 diesel engines per muscle strand that they had? I got
Actually,
quotes too,
Charlie
Jared.
Day was like my favorite.
Come
part
right
of
the
that
fuck
movie.
back at me.
And
Come on.
Ron Perlman. Remember, wasn't
Rob
he like
Perfect.
Yeah, Ron Perfect.
He was
sure,
perfect.
I'll take it.
He was the crazy.
He was like a
fucking
crazy salesman.
expat, fucking mob boss in China with his like devil shoes and
So weird, but it was good.
he's Ron Perlman.
This is a different movie. Let's talk about Blade Runner.
Which was good.
It was pretty. It was okie dokie. I was all about it. Fucking. I wasn't expecting like so many like virtual girlfriend moments. That was surprising.
I like that though.
I-
I think that was great for character development.
Yeah, now that we're in spoilers, I fucking love that scene where he, like, it was weird, it was trippy, especially if you were tripping, it would be really weird. But that scene, that's the first time you ever seen a scene like that. Like, that's, like, that'll be one of those scenes that they'll, like, look back in 20 years, like, this is the first time they did this
You're
scene.
talking. You haven't really said the scene you're
Oh,
talking
well,
about.
yeah,
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 I'm
what
talking
are
about
you
the scene
talking
where he fucks his virtual
That's what I thought you were
girlfriend.
talking about. I just wanted you to say it for everybody else.
She's a hologram, though,
I knew
so
what you
you
were
can't
saying.
actually.
So he's got
Fuck her.
the real girl, right? Whatever.
So
her
yeah,
name is.
so I'm
well,
not.
she hires her.
Yeah, she, the
So
virtual
he doesn't even know anything
girlfriend,
about it.
hires a slave robot essentially, who happens to be working for the underground robot movement or
But she
whatever.
says she's
AI,
human.
Android movement.
Yeah, that part is one of the few parts I was confused by when she's like, "Oh, you don't like real girls" or something.
Yeah,
No,
she
she's-
says that
I think
she's human.
she's.
right?
No, I think she's inferring that
They're
Joy
replicants.
Oh,
a hologram.
It's like a hierarchy, like humans, replicants, holograms, kind of
Yeah,
thing. Like the
yeah,
replicants look
exactly.
down on them.
So she's
That's what I got.
referring-
That would make sense why she's talking so much shit to her, like at the end there.
Yeah, they
And
look
I
fake
don't need
she
to
was
each other.
like, "I've been inside of you, bitch."
yeah.
It's not much there. It's like, well, duh. I'm a fucking hologram. There's not gonna be anything. That's how it works. You're a stupid robot.
You're a stupid robot. Yeah, I thought the scene was fantastic. I mean, it was a little trippy because it kept like unsyncing up, but I thought it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, that part it got dizzying. It was weird. I was like, oh fuck, now it
Thought
just
it was
looks
cool.
like both of them. Oh yeah, it's definitely a cool shot, but I was just like, realistically, this wouldn't work
Why not?
because it'd be like you'd see a different person. She looked completely different, like
look
85%
like a
of the
mix.
time.
Bro, do you watch porn?
But does the lady
Yeah.
change mid porn? What do you mean?
What are you talking
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not really. It's not really.
I can help
It's not
there.
a connection.
Let's just not go into it. Actually,
Okay.
now that I think about
Cut
it.
that part out.
Cut
Like-
that part out. But
like a certain type of fetish where like mid shot it's like a different person.
It's like, oh fuck. It's called the. It's called.
Like it like jumps cut away and then when it comes back it's like a whole different person.
It's like a bait and switch, but it's just baiting everywhere.
Just baiting.
Just bait.
Yeah, that scene, and then I can't remember the other scene now. There was one other scene I thought would be like, it's going to be looked back as being like a really important scene. I can't remember now.
Well, there was the one.
Maybe
Is
we'll
it
get there.
him and her, or just a different
Just
scene
a different
separately?
scene in general.
Well, we're gonna go through it, so maybe we'll get there.
It's a scene that I can't remember what scene it was, but it's one of those scenes that's like new and like, wow, that's fucking incredible.
Like the Elvis one?
Yeah, the Elvis one. Yeah, that one.
Oh,
was
okay,
pretty
yeah,
good,
that one.
yeah.
That one
That's
was
what
the
it was.
only one that I was nervous about when the
Shit was
scene was going
creepy.
on, because I was
What
like, yeah,
happened
this is
with
really
this?
creepy. It's just going to be a weird jump scare at any moment and ruin it. And like, it wasn't though. It was great. It turned out pretty.
Oh, okay. I had read about this scene.
Yeah.
Of course, I saw it. I kept forgetting. That's when they were like kind of fighting,
The holograms.
Yeah,
well,
Deckard-
and while it's going on.
like,
Okay,
Kay was
I
just
remember it all.
running, and then Deckard was trying to kill
Oh,
him.
that was awesome.
Yeah,
That
and then
was
he was just
wow,
like,
that was really
he
well
just
shot.
turned on the
The
holograms.
only thing I wish would be that it would have let the holograms play a little bit longer. You know, like he was like, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it got really
I wish it
annoying.
would have been like,
Yeah, it was-
yeah, exactly. It got a little annoying after a minute, so I wish it would have let him like sing like 2 words or something and then cut out.
But it was super cool when he would like go to strike him through the hologram or something, you know, like
But yeah.
using the holograms as camouflage for their
Yeah.
fight.
and then fucking.
Yeah. I thought Elvis was gonna call him out, like, you know how Ryan Gosling was hiding.
Yeah.
I thought Elvis was just gonna be like, "Hey, look
Like,
good over there."
audience participation.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're the only person in the audience.
Yeah,
there
that's
we
what I thought
go.
was gonna happen.
This guy.
That would be fucking.
He's
awesome.
like, "Looking good over there, guy in the sweet jacket," and then Harrison Ford would just show up and be like, "Come on, man."
I mean, it might have almost because he almost shot Kay like when he was hiding. Like he was hiding and they're like a
Oh
bullet,
yeah,
like,
fucking
boom,
like
like blast through. So maybe he did kind of give him a cue. We just missed that part in the movie.
probably saw him shuffling around. He's doing that job a lot longer than he has.
That's true.
Great scene.
And we still don't
How
know
do
if
you
Deckard's
guys-
a replicant.
Oh, you want to get into that?
Go ahead. We can start with what you're gonna say. But
I was gonna say, how did you guys feel about the open? The open of just the like the what is he doing here? What's he doing with Dave Bautista?
Dave Bautista's
Oh, they're
dad.
about
Oh
to
yeah, that
fight.
shit. I love when movies are like that. I love a good cold open.
Yeah, it's
where
like a
it's
cold
just
open.
like you don't know shit. I don't need to. My hand doesn't need to be held.
No
I'll pick
exposition,
this
yeah.
shit up as I go.
I love
It's
that
fine.
shit too, especially because it starts off and you almost immediately find out Kay is a replicant. Because right at
Which was
first
disappointing for
you
me.
don't know, but at first
Oh, yeah,
you don't
no,
know, and
no
all of a
idea.
sudden Dave Bautista slams his fucking head in the wall, and you're like, "Holy shit, our main character just died."
Well,
How can he survive his head being slammed through a
I think he-
concrete wall?
doesn't he say like,
He's like, it's
After
weird
you
that
do
you
this-
hunt down your own
Yeah, doesn't
kind.
he
It's
say
like,
that?
he's like, well, you're not my kind because I don't fuck up.
yeah, that's pretty much what he says. But
I think he
I was
says
still
that after
confused
he
at
got
that
slammed
point.
through
I
the
don't think I
wall.
had picked up yet when he was
I got
saying
it.
that.
I pretty much got it when he said
He
that.
don't say that after he slams it through the wall.
I don't remember.
No,
if that
the
was
fight's
before, or
before
after.
that. The fight. No, he has that conversation and then they have the fight.
Yeah, 'cause-
I
because
must
that
miss it.
conversation is
Batista
meant
like
to.
pulls a knife right when they're done talking or something.
Okay.
Pulls
Yeah,
some
he
weapon.
like
Okay.
he picks it up or
Because
something.
I must have missed that part there. Because when he first slammed through the wall, I was like, "Holy fuck!
Because I
How is he
remember
going to survive getting his head slammed through that?"
it was like nervous. He must be really fucking good at this job to not be dead and like trying to kill these. Oh, he's a robot. Okay,
Yeah, he was
never
not.
mind.
He was not like really worried about Dave. He was like, "This is the easy way or the hard way, but I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm not playing any games."
Yeah,
By the way, there's one thing. Here's one thing I wish they had a little bit more of, and I thought was fantastic when they did. Action scenes, I thought were fantastic. Like when they fought, like he was fucking, like he dodged the first 2 strikes, bro. It was so clean, bro. It was like, phew, phew, dodged and shit, and they got his head slammed into the wall.
Yep.
But but that scene, like when he fights later, when he goes out to find the little kids and shit out in the fucking whatever, and they're all coming at him, and he like flips the guy over, shoots some other guy. All the actions I thought were clean. I wish they had some more. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I like it because it's like because he's built to take down other replicants and shit. Like that's his entire purpose. So he probably has like a shitload of fucking combat programming and all that other jazz.
I do like that. That was like right before the drone strike scene when he first crashes his car going to look, and there's like all those. I guess they were probably regular people surrounded him, and like one dude bum rushes him, and that's when he flips him and shoots the other guy. I was like, yeah, that was sweet.
He does like a fucking WWE move. It's like breaks his
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
back. I
that
was like,
fucking guy.
holy shit! I was like, that was awesome.
You gotta establish a presence.
Yeah,
There you go.
it kind of blew me away that Dave Bautista dies right at the beginning.
Oh, me
I don't
too.
know. I kind of thought he was. Gonna
I knew
play a
he was
bigger
gonna be
role.
dead. I was like, oh, Dave Bautista, too popular to live.
You're probably right.
Not gonna fucking happen.
Especially if you see the shorts, like I know y'all didn't see the shorts, but you see Dave Bautista in the short, like he gets his own fucking shorts. So I was like,
I
okay,
didn't even
maybe
know
he's
there
an
were
important
shorts.
character, Then he dies 3 minutes into the movie, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I guess
it's a Godzilla moment all over again. Fucking what's his meth boy?
Brian Cranston.
Yeah, Brian Cranston.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
he's like the face of the
And then
Godzilla
he
movie
dies in,
for
like, the middle
months
of
and
the
months and months beforehand, and then it's like 20 minutes in and he's dead. It's like, oh, it's about his shit tier son. Okay.
That happened with another Ryan Gosling movie, Beyond the Pines. It was Ryan
I
Gosling
did not watch that movie.
and someone else,
I don't
and
know
it
that.
was like a detective and something set up to be a murder, and then they both died super early, and it was up to their sons to solve it. And you were just like, I didn't sign up for this. I signed up for Ryan Gosling. Like, what
Like,
happened?
Ryan Gosling.
Tricked you, bitch.
But
That's what-
that reminds me of fucking this movie, like super duper parallel to like Drive, like really really similar.
This is,
And I
like,
really
good
love
Drive.
Drive. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
really love
I was
Drive.
gonna say,
I hate
I
Drive.
I
hated
love Drive. Drive's one of my favorite movies.
Talking about problems with movie theaters. The movie theater we saw, it was a shitty movie theater, and across the row from me was like a trash bag on a seat, and in the trash bag something was ticking the entire movie. And I was like,
It definitely
the whole
was.
time I
We
was
were
like, do
freaking
I
out, yo.
leave? Is this gonna blow up? Like, is this a terrorist attack? Like, why would a terrorist attack this theater? There's 2 people here.
We were freaking out, yo. I was like, what the
Did you
fuck?
never check it?
No, fuck no. I didn't want to like mess with it and make it go off.
You didn't tell anyone?
No, I assumed that my life was forfeit, and I was just gonna accept it.
Like, I'm either gonna
So,
finish
you know
this
what?
movie or
Fuck
die.
you guys too.
Like it just felt like if I got up and told someone, they'd be like, "You stupid person, this is what this is." So I was like, "I'll just."
So you were
accept it.
too afraid of being embarrassed about
right.
not dying that you were like, you know what? I'm gonna take this gamble.
That's where it was. Yeah.
I'm either gonna die or be embarrassed about
That's
it, and I
what's
can't
up.
handle either of those.
I mean, I thought about it a little bit. I was like, "Come on, hold on. There's 5 people in this movie theater, and 2 of them are me and Josh. Like, who's
we
bombing?
didn't do it, so
Yeah. Who's gonna bomb? Who's gonna bomb this?
what
this
suspects
place?
do we have?
Bruh. And also, we paid like $10. We were definitely not going to walk out that movie.
True. I've never walked out of a movie. I'm not pious. I don't have better
we'll
things
blow
to
up for
do.
10
Yeah, you're
bucks.
I do not have better things to do. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch it, no matter how terrible that movie
That
is.
movie
And
was
this is coming
terrible.
from a man that saw Walk the Line with his parents.
All right.
Wait, is that's
no,
not...
the shitty John C. Riley one, not the.
No, that's Walk Hard, the Dewey
Walk-
Cox
yeah,
story.
Walk
and
Hard.
that movie
Fucking-
is
That
amazing.
movie is fucking
No,
trash.
no.
That
I
movie's
will,
terrible.
we're gonna have to do a whole new
although,
podcast.
although
There's so many arguments
No.
about this movie.
It's so
spin-off
good.
podcast, convince me. You just get people who who have different opinions on a movie. They both have to watch it, and then they gotta fucking
How
hash
can
it
you not
out.
like the marijuana scene from Dewey
no.
Cox?
That scene I was gonna say
Okay.
that scene is fucking perfect.
Dewey!
Are you talking about the one where he's
Get outta
like,
here.
"You don't want this.
You don't want
Yeah.
this.
You don't want
But it
this."
sounds like a
Oh
wall.
man, you're right. That's probably gonna fuck me up and ruin my life and make all these terribles. Actually, it doesn't do anything negative to you in any way whatsoever. But you don't want this.
Oh, yeah. I
You're
remember
right.
that.
It doesn't do anything at all. Well, except for the amazing fucking feelings it gives you.
Okay, I remember that scene. Yeah.
But that's all on Don Cheadle.
Oh, I feel like you're hung up on the fact he cut his brother in half. And that's where you're drawing the disconnect in the movie.
No,
I
that
cut
plot point
my
was, that's
brother.
pretty great. That's a pretty great plot point.
Okay.
I just all the dicks are unnecessary. The actual literal penises that are on screen for
I
like
think I blocked that
5 minutes, maybe. It's the whole point of the scene
That's
is
why I
that
didn't
you're
like
just
Watchmen.
staring at a dick directly next to his face for like
That was my main
a
problem
minute
with
and a
Watchmen.
half to 2 minutes.
They didn't have to do the blue penis everywhere in Watchmen.
Yeah.
We didn't need that.
Well, I mean that one's less distracting the less you talk
It's
about
pretty
it.
distracting. And there's
I
like,
mean, the scene
Well,
isn't
like, on
like
eyes.
it's
He's
not
like,
like
"I am
the,
a god.
The focal
I can do
point is
anything."
right here on the guy's face, and then the dick's right here for a good like several minutes. So it's a bit different than like a penis being somewhere off screen, like halfway, kind of glowing, and then
Wasn't the whole man glowing?
trying to
Yeah, the whole
have
man's glowing.
foursomes with just himself and his girlfriend, who he probably gave cancer.
God, that's a good movie too, and I need to make me want to watch that again.
Fucking the comics are insane for Watchmen.
That's what I've heard.
all right, we should get back on track.
Yeah.
Nah,
let's get back to
nah, it's fine.
Josh, you're
Hey.
the moderator. Do your job.
I mean, this is good conversation.
I
man.
mean, which one of us is the one that's high?
yeah.
You'll never
Well,
know.
I don't know. Is
audience
somebody going to say something? Because they're looking at each other.
That's the audience sweepstakes. They have to guess.
members. They have to guess. Send in your guess.
It's not a trick question.
So, just to get back to it, is Decker a replicant?
No, story closed. End all. Period.
What?
There we go.
No, he drinks.
Yeah, he's just
What
an
do you mean?
alcoholic.
They can't drink?
Do you ever see replicants drink or eat?
Well,
Shit,
I mean,
they drink.
what's
The
his
entire
name?
movie.
Dave Bautista was
I had a good
fucking
argument.
making garlic for himself because he had a preference for it.
And
Yeah.
Kay
He was
drinks.
making food
Remember, he
just
makes
for
a
himself.
shot for joy, yo. He drinks
I-
the shots.
Trust me, it took me a long time to figure out he was a replicant, man.
I mean-
I thought I went a good hour thinking he was a
Seriously?
person.
Oh wow!
I was smoking a bit of alcohol in the movie.
Doing a bit of that AWOL.
Smoking a bit of alcohol.
I smuggled it.
Yeah, it's called
Smuggled,
AWOL. It's
okay.
alcohol without liquid. And it's a real thing, and it can kill you.
I don't think that's what AWOL
Okay,
means.
well now I have to reform my argument on if Deckard's a replicant or not. Now I'm confused.
I think people want to say he's a replicant to make shit like more interesting
Well,
about a movie
It
that
made
came out.
sense to me that
30
he was a replicant
30 years
in the
ago.
movie because the whole point of the movie was like to me do the sort of like they identify the replicants by like the empathy they have essentially.
Yeah.
Their ability to have empathy, and then you see Deckard sort of like showing empathy, and then at the end when it shows like oh he's actually a replicant, then you're supposed to go like oh okay so they can. Right, well, that was my mind. That's where when I saw it, I was like, oh, so that's like a little like, yes, they actually can develop empathy. They just need a little time, more than like fucking 4 years.
Yeah.
That's where I was. That's what it made more sense to me. The movie as a whole made sense to me with him being a replicant. But then at the same time, I mean, he could have not been, and he's just a dick. I don't know.
I mean, just as a person, I hate fan theories.
Okay.
Like just like the entire thing, like as a community that anything has when fan theories pop up. Like there's like Game of Thrones, like where you getting deep and like calling stuff out, and it's like, yeah, this is gonna be. It's like you can just sit back and watch. You can just wait and let them tell the story.
Ignore
That-
the predictions part of the Woods Brothers podcast
Yeah,
on all the Game
exactly.
of Thrones episodes.
Exactly. I mean, I never actually listened to any other episode except for the ones that I'm on. So
I need to go back and listen and see if we got anything right. I was thinking about that the whole time. Like, we're even close. This season was kind of different, though. I was always wrong in the past.
I get why it's fun though.
Okay, so we have yes, he's a replicant.
Come back to me, because what Jared
Come
said,
back.
I thought Jared was going to clarify it, but I was kind of confused about his point, but I didn't want to make him repeat it.
I think he's not.
You think he's not?
No, because like I think that kind of just belittles and throws out the whole plot point of like the replicant pregnancies and shit. Because then it's like, oh, well, it's just two replicants that made a baby somehow, and then he forgot like how to build them to do that. And
Well, he
instead
didn't, he
he
didn't
just-
forget. The original guy never
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
put down. Like he
well,
purposely.
no. It was the blackout.
Yeah, but that's exactly.
The
yeah.
blackout happened and like erased all the records. So when that happened, there's no like ability to look up how they were made or something like that. I think that's what it was, anyways.
I just think it's more like
I don't
it's
see
more
how Deckard
significant.
being a replicant or not changes really anything about this new one.
The whole
Well, I
pregnancy
mean,
thing?
yeah, the whole point that he's
Well,
the
what's-
father of a
so what?
replicant child.
Replicants are basically humans. Why they can't fuck people?
Well, no, that's what they've been saying is that it's been physically impossible
And-
for them to, like, him to have them conceive pregnancies and have babies because if they could, then he'd have more slaves.
Well, I mean, if Deckard is a replicant,
So what you're
he's-
saying
he's
is-
he's a Nexus 7, just like Rachel was.
Yeah, that's my point.
And
Like,
the whole purpose of them was to be able to breed.
Oh, okay.
well,
didn't
I
know.
thought the whole purpose of them was to live longer than 4 years, but I guess
Well, the whole like to be more human in general.
yeah. So that's my saying. Like, if he's a replicant, then what makes him different than Rachel, who is the exception?
Why in the beginning of the movie is he picked up by his other officer, like, eating noodles then? Why isn't he? I guess it would make it super obvious if he was a replicant somewhere, but I
Well,
don't
see,
know.
that's the reason people think he's a replicant too, is because of Omos, the other agent. Like he's got that. He dreams of swans, and he fucking keeps laying
I think it's unicorn.
or
Origami.
unicorns.
It's just
And he
random
keeps
things.
doing the unicorn origami though, and
But that was
that's
added.
because they think that James Omos character knows that he's a replicant. That's why he fucking hates.
Yeah, but I think that was added in later by Ridley Scott.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I
Is
think
that
like
who that is? The actor? The guy that plays his partner? You said his name earlier, I think.
James
Okay.
yeah,
almost.
James or Edward
Okay, yeah,
Edward
he
James
did
almost.
have that small part in 49.
He did. He was like in the retirement home or whatever.
Yeah, he's the guy who plays the commander in
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I know him from. So
I really don't see how it affects whether or not he's a replicant or not.
But wait, there's an important line he says near the end of the movie about Rachel. The guy we're talking about, to Deckard
Yeah.
in the first movie, because it's something, I reread it. It's something about, like,
He was like he
Them
wanted to
being
be
more-
alone.
something like, I might look it up and come back to me.
Yeah,
okay.
it's been like 2 weeks since I've seen it. So,
But
but
he's talking about the old movie.
oh
Yeah, he's talking about
Okay.
the original one.
I never even watched the first one, so I have no fucking clue.
Here's another thing we can talk about.
I got it.
Oh, go ahead.
Is it too bad she won't live? But then again, who does? Which is like, I mean, we can look into that a lot because it's like, I mean, I guess he was saying, you know, she's gonna die because she's a replicant, but I guess she wasn't because she was a 7, so she had a longer lifespan.
Yeah.
That's a
But I don't know, maybe he just didn't like him because he had such a soft spot for that one replicant too.
Well, he didn't like him before that, though.
Oh, okay.
Like, right off the bat, he hated him. Before any of that shit happened, they hated each other. So, I mean, they could have obviously just had, you know, past issues.
so
Together.
maybe they
I
just
thought
didn't
in-
like each other.
In 2049, didn't the character himself say they both like to work alone, so that's why they became partners?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that's the case. So, but
I'm gonna go no.
You're gonna go
Give
no.
an answer.
Yes, no, and I'm gonna go with
Yes, the tie.
yes. Just the swan. I mean, I keep saying swan because that's from a different movie, but like the unicorn thing. Plus, like sometimes he takes the other things. He takes some hits that a lot of people think the humans really wouldn't have been able to survive. Things like that. Even when he fights Ryan Gosling, man, like he's fucking punching the shit out of the dude. But
True. But I mean, also, it's like they're not really supposed to fight
yeah,
humans anyway, so it's like probably designed to have the shit kicked out of them, at least, for
true.
the most part.
We can talk about the rape scene.
In the first Blade Runner?
No. Well, the fact that there was almost a rape scene in this one, that they didn't go for it.
What? When?
I feel like you must have missed it then. When the
I missed
lieutenant, Joshi or Yoshi, whatever her name is,
Oh, I know you're talking
she
about.
goes to his place
hmm
and she's drinking and she's like, what happens if I finish this drink?
Yeah,
And he's like, I have to get back to work.
yeah. Okay, I was onto that. Yeah.
That's why she like lets him go after he fails his thing. And she has she likes him.
Yeah.
She wants to fuck
Yeah, I picked
Ryan
up on that.
Gosling. Which I don't blame her.
I mean, I picked up on that, but it didn't seem like that was going to be
Is it
rape. She
rapey?
was just like,
It's just awkward.
Well, because
Yeah.
well, no, because
It's like,
he
I don't
can't-
want
he
to fuck
can't
you,
really,
you're my boss.
He can't really
Say no.
say no. So she
True.
could just be like,
Yeah, if she made it in
let's
order,
fuck.
then
She
yeah.
could just order.
Yeah,
him.
he said something like that in the movie.
Yeah.
Said something like, "Is that an order or something?"
Yeah, because if she orders him, he has to do it,
Fair point.
technically.
right.
Fair point.
So that's pretty much what she was like alluding to, like, I want to fuck your brains out, robot.
Weird.
Which I kind of hope that's.
Maybe
shit.
she was
I
trying
kind of
to-
wish that scene would have went down, to be quite honest with you.
Maybe she was just trying to be like, hey, let's allude to that weird scene in the original Blade Runner where Harrison Ford kind of sort of rapes Rachel. It's pretty fucked up, that scene.
and creates
True.
the baby. for the next
Yeah, I
movie,
guess.
probably.
Yeah, I guess. There we go. Call back.
Hello.
There we go. Okay.
I told you that scene had a purpose.
Well, fucking,
All these years later.
fucking.
For real though, is that the purpose though?
No. I mean,
Nah, it's just-
no.
Wait, they're probably backpedaling. They probably made the whole Blade Runner 2049
They
to
were
like
"Man, that
undo
scene
the
is
rape
fucked
scene.
up." They were all like, man, that's real fucked up.
Bro, I just want to give a quick shout out to the weird.
Well, you know what? Sorry. Wallace actually says maybe Harrison Ford was like programmed to fall in love with Rachel and all that.
No, well, he says that isn't like.
Maybe Rachel was
it was
designed.
designed
to-
specifically to have him do that, not necessarily he was programmed to do it.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so you could argue that maybe they are retconning a little bit and saying Harrison Ford was so rapey because he was designed to be
Well-
be kind of rapey against.
Well,
Rachel.
his specific setup
like
was
that.
like you were pushed into like meeting her and doing it, and she was built specifically to like attract you and like things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So again, it wasn't like him being programmed.
I
It
said
was
designed.
like
I changed my
the
word.
situation was designed.
Okay.
Just want to be
All right.
factual.
So, we got that.
He's got those weird drone eyes that follow him around. With his
Yeah.
little neck plug.
Yeah, so we can talk a little bit about Jared Leto here.
I
A lot
hate
of people
Jared
did
Leto.
not like him in this movie. I thought he did fantastic.
Oh yeah, he's a great piece of shit. Like he was real good at being a piece of shit, but fucking like, you know,
I think he's just like that eccentric, like I know what we need to do billionaire guy.
I've got this.
Yeah, and but I liked him in that role, and those weird fucking robots. I think that's cool.
Those little.
The fact that he's
fucking-
like my angels.
He is really good at being creepy.
Yeah, he's really good at
He's
that.
really fucking good at being creepy.
Quick shout out to the two weird dudes who have to play in dystopian ass movies. I'm glad they got their roles in this movie.
Which two weird dudes?
The Morgue, who got fucked up by love,
Oh yeah,
Which was awesome.
I just reminded that a minute ago, and I made a face because, like, oh god, that was so gnarly.
Yeah.
She's straight up fucking.
Judo chops the fuck. Her judo chop worked.
Unlike Danny fucking Rand.
Unlike
Danny Trash Iron Fist Rand. Fuck that guy.
Callback. And then the other dude who was, which the desk, by the way, looked fantastic. This movie looks so fucking good. When he goes to the record place, and it's got the dude from Logan.
Fucking that little, like, I thought that was cool. But he's like, you can only see him, like, you have to crouch down, see through the fucking line.
That location was a good location, I guess. Wherever they found that
They
shit
probably
from.
built it.
Probably. It was
It's
good.
Ridley Scott. He builds a lot of things.
Yeah, they like the practical shit. Well, I mean, Ridley Scott, I'm assuming I guess he was some sort of producer on this, but he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know what was. I know he's attached to it in some way,
Denis
but
Vanilli or whatever
yeah,
directed it. He did
French Canadian
fantastic.
fella,
Villeneuve. Is that that guy's name?
Denis
Yeah, something
Villeneuve.
like that.
It's like-
I haven't seen Arrival, but I'm about to go watch it just because of this movie.
I need to. I think I tried to watch it once when I was, like, younger, and I didn't really respect it. I was like, the fuck this? It's boring.
Arrival came out relatively recently. I think you're thinking of a different movie.
Hmm?
Arrival came out fairly recently. I think you're thinking of a
I
different
thought
movie.
you said the first one.
Oh, the
No.
first Blade Runner, yeah.
What? Oh, I'm confused. Also, shout out to the dude from The Walking Dead.
Which dude?
Which dude?
He was the guy that was running the orphans.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I remember
Sure.
him.
I
like
feel
that
like
guy.
they should have showed him more because I'm confused. Like he just like walked out the room, and was like, "All right, later."
Yeah, because he didn't want to fucking die.
He didn't want to die. I mean, that's the whole point of me saying that thing earlier, is that it's not about that guy.
Yeah, it's not about that guy.
Kay.
It's about K.
Yeah,
At
I mean,
least
I
we
guess you're
think it's about K.
right. Yeah. Which let's
Wah,
get
wah,
into
plot
now.
twist, bitches.
What did y'all think of that plot twist? Did you see it coming? Did you like it?
Did not remotely see it coming, but I was hesitant to believe that he was the kid like the entire time. I was like, no, that makes too much sense. I don't like it. Like, it seems too straightforward. And then
I
he
was
wasn't,
kinda-
and then I got sad.
I was kind of like, I don't know. It does seem very straightforward, but the fact that it was the camera girl, that blew me. I did not see that coming.
Well, see, that's the only way it would work. Because, like, anybody else would have been like, no, it's totally fucking implanted.
You know what? Yeah. In fact, I think like that's probably the brilliance of having it be straightforward. That it seems like he's the kid is basically make you be like, wait a minute, is he? Because it's really straightforward. It sort of make you think about that, and that's
Yeah.
sort of like sleight of hand. It's making you think about that, but really, it's sort of just it's actually this girl who, if you thought about it, you might figure.
You know
it
what it
out.
reminds me of? Sansa and Arya, where it was like they seem
Oh,
like
right.
it's like the only thing it could be. It's like that, and then they pulled the rug out from under my feet. That's how I kind of felt. I was like, was there any indication? But when I guess if you look back, knowing the whole movie, and you see things like the lost record and the like boy and girl DNA matching, and when you first meet the memory what is it, memory maker or whatever,
Yeah.
the lady it's actually is, it kind of comes more apparent. But I didn't see it at the time at all.
Yeah,
No.
I thought it was pretty great. It was one of the
It was
better
good,
plot
though.
twists that I've had in a while.
For me, when she first came on screen, I instantly was like, "She's the replicant." I mean, she's the child. And then it kind of started making me question myself because I was like, "Okay, no, it must be Ryan Gosling." It's pointing to Ryan Gosling. I was like, "Okay, maybe I was wrong on that one." And then it fucking switched back on me. I was like, I was right
Like
originally.
fucking-
There was
Oh.
there's a slight clue from his memory with the horse where all the boys at the place don't have hair.
Bald, yeah.
And the Ryan Gosling character you think it is,
Interesting.
it's like long haired.
I didn't notice that at all.
I didn't notice that
think
either.
about it. Well, maybe I was just like all these little fucking skinhead kids.
Beating him
Which-
up
going
over the
after
horse.
his-
You thought it was
They want to
journalism.
beat up Ryan Gosling for his luxurious locks.
Yeah.
Why do you have hair? Why don't we have it?
Oh wait, I just got that now. Oh, I thought he was bald too.
No, he's just got short hair. He's not really bald. But fucking oh fuck, what was
Well, what gave her away to you originally? You told me this anyways. I don't know if it's true. Is that she cries when she sees the memory?
Yeah.
yeah.
Now I interpreted that as like it was a
sad
bad memory.
Well, that and she was realizing that, like, see, because that was the part that was like tricky for me because I was like, that seems significant, like a lot more than it was, but I don't know how.
Yeah, see, when I saw that, I just thought it was a bad memory, and she's like apologizing because she's like, "I'm sorry that you're not supposed to have memories like this, and it's my job to make sure you don't have memories like this, but you do." That's how I interpreted it. At the end, it's clear that she sees that and she realizes, like, she's
Oh.
saying, "I'm sorry," because like that's my memory that
I put that in
I
there.
put into you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's When I saw that, kind of. That's why I was like, "Oh, that's her. That's her memory."
Because when she's like sitting there saying like this is definitely a real one, I was like, oh, she's realizing that this guy is not supposed to have real memories, but he does.
That's how I thought it
and
was
so
her being like,
she's real upset about like, oh shit,
what have I been doing? Yeah.
We've been doing terrible things as well. Oh god, but no, it was just, oh yeah, I did this on purpose. Fuck,
Yeah.
you found out about it.
So did y'all like that plot twist? I heard some people that were. Really
I liked it. I
pissed
thought it
off
was
with
good. I thought it was really good.
Like they didn't like it. They were like that plot twist like kind of killed the movie for them.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know why that would be.
I just heard a few people say that. They were like, "Oh man, it was." I don't know what their.
It's
fucking
like the
reason
man
was.
gets to see his fucking daughter again. Like, what's negative about that? Oh God, the robot died. That didn't want to kill a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good boy.
I also think because we were talking about it, like why does Ryan Gosling help Harrison Ford out and shit like that? I think because of those memories, like Ryan Gosling's kind of like almost a pseudo child still because. I mean, what makes you as a person, your memories,
Mm-hmm.
So I think technically Ryan Gosling this is another one of those thinking parts where I was talking about the movie makes you think. Like, he's like, I mean, because of the memories, he kind of technically is also the boy that was fake.
Yeah, it's like,
Well, yeah,
because like what makes up you, what makes up a mind, what makes up a personality, it's the memories and the experiences within it. So if you give someone else or some other being all the memories and experiences that another human, like, are they that person? Are they a different person? Like, what is it?
And people were like, why would he want to do it? Why would he want to help out Decker? And one reason he might want to do that is he feels a connection to him because technically he may not be, his kid, but he feels a connection to his kid because he has memories from his kid. So, maybe in a certain sort of way he feels like his son anyways.
Yeah. Well, just think about in the near future, things that are probably going to happen to our culture and within the next 100 years is the ability to download consciousness and then move it to something else. That doesn't make you not the person. Like, so let's say.
Does it change
100
what
years
you
from now-
are?
Yeah,
Does it
exactly.
change
Like 100
just
years
how
from now,
you
if can
interact
download
with
your
things?
consciousness, you're getting old, you're like fucking 90, about to die. You can download your consciousness to your computer and then put it into an Android body, let's say. Maybe that's 500 years in the future. I don't know. But
Well, it's like it's
does that
the
make
main
you a
question.
different person?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like what makes a person?
exactly.
What
makes it-
is a person? Like, what's a human being? Because we don't fucking know. So, might as well give them robot dicks.
According to Elon Musk, man, we're gonna have to start if AI come around. He was talking about, man, like the only way we're gonna he's terrified of AI coming around, and it's like the way we're gonna have to keep up is essentially start like integrating ourselves with like technology.
We have to get ready to fight the robots. Quote
I've
Elon
got a
Musk.
question.
Go ahead.
What makes Kay special?
Nothing. I think in the
Why
end, nothing.
aren't there other
Well, I
replicants
think-
that have these memories?
I think
You
it's
know?
like-
why is
I
he
think
the
there
one?
are.
I think that's what it is. I think maybe she like what I took from it is maybe she like sprinkled them around to try and get like someone looking into it and to also maybe bring replicants to the freedom movement, like as make them all think that they're the one, so
Yeah.
that when they get here, they're more likely to be inspired and helpful and like want to do these things, even though we've been lying to them.
What makes
this
me
whole time.
think that
Is she with the
Shit.
movement?
Actually,
Yeah,
The
she
memories
like
line?
they put her there.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
the
that's
ones
right, 'cause
that
they
were
protected
protecting her the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What-
I
I
forgot
think what
that.
Jared's about to say is I just thought of something. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
if it's what I said, I told you this at the time. I think that they all have memories like this because they specifically say a line like, "Oh, you thought you were
Yeah.
a child." Well, like we all thought that.
Yeah.
We all thought we
Oh,
were.
Yeah,
the
that's
child.
yeah, that's where I got
I
it.
just
Yeah.
thought
Okay.
about that.
I told you
That
this
makes
in the
sense
movie,
then.
and you were like, "That's dumb."
I was wondering if I had missed
Yeah, no, that's
something,
pretty
and
much
what I
verbatim.
missed.
That's
Yeah,
literally what she
okay.
says. Like, yeah, we all
okay,
thought that.
damn.
Yeah, and my interpretation of that was like, "Oh, so they all have."
Or they
these
all said like
memories.
we all wanted to be.
or we all wanted to be the child. That's
So like, yeah.
okay.
Good.
Don't
I mean,
shh me.
y'all were getting real loud, man. I don't want it to echo. Both
'Cause
y'all
we're
were like
fucking-
yelling over each
We were
other.
getting excited. We got
Yeah.
excited. We just figured something out.
Holy
I
shit,
mean-
we figured it out.
Well, y'all figured it out. Jared and I were like, yeah.
Yeah, like I saw that in the movie.
Yeah, like we said.
Some of us are a little slow in others. Me particularly.
But yeah,
You gotta
no.
go in there with a clear head, man.
That part made pretty sense.
It's a
pretty
long
good sense
movie.
to me.
You're asking
it
a
is
lot
a
of
long
me.
movie.
I like that part. My favorite. I hated one thing about this stupid fucking movie. Fucking, that's her little dream machine. That's just a bunch of camera lenses taped sideways
Yeah.
with motors in them spinning them around. That's not how dreams work. You're not making memories with that. She doesn't have a bunch of codes
just gotta
memorized.
3 turns to the left, little Asian girl appears blowing out candles.
Yeah, that's a real specific. That's a real specific setting
think what
for
it-
those 12 numbers that you have.
I think what it is, and
Comes
you're
from her
missing,
brain.
Yeah,
It's
it's some
know.
sort of neural lace mixed with that as to control it. Yeah.
But why
I'm
would it
playing-
look
I'm
like
playing
that?
with him though.
Yeah.
I like what he's saying.
That
about
looks.
it.
I mean, you
dumb.
are right.
That's
It
the
was
only
silly.
thing. That's the one
How-
fucking
how
thing.
else
I had
would
a
they
problem
show
with.
that in a good
Singular.
visual way?
Singular problem. I mean, they could have used the same device. Just don't make it look like fucking camera
It
lenses.
did look like a bunch of camera lenses
From the sideways, yeah,
together.
spinning around. Like they could have definitely made that. Make it more cyberpunk. Like give it some tubes.
Some
give it
gears.
give it some fucking.
You wanted to just like a big
Make it
big ass
neon.
box that's like strapped to her. She's just like pulling
They
levers and
could have
shit.
given her a singular fucking piece of steel with a neon light at the end of it. I was like, that makes sense. That thing looks like
Yeah,
something
you know what?
that
she's
would
like-
make
Hey,
dreams.
oh my god! You know what
Like
they
just
should've done?
holding a fucking like this, or just fucking give her thumb and have it
I mean,
glow. When she
I-
does that, it would make more sense.
Personally, I liked
Hold it up.
Personally, I liked it, but what they should have done was just give her like a stylus, and she's just like,
That would even make more fucking sense. Like just a tablet, and then she's not even looking at it and just watching space, because that would be like an actual evolution of technology we have
Right.
now.
Right.
Where it's like you'll draw on a tablet over here and be looking at a monitor on the other side. It's like you don't need to look at this.
I mean, I like the camera lens looking thing, but whatever.
Or just a pen
I'm
in
not gonna argue
general.
about
Like
it.
she could just do like that and have things go. I mean, it was a nice practical effect. Like if they had just painted it, I would have been happy.
Give her a wand. You're a Harry.
Yeah, give her
You're
a
the
fucking
wizard, Barry.
wand. There you
God
go.
damn it.
Cut it out.
It's like if you had a wand and you could just make whatever the fuck you wanted appear before you, that would definitely be wand-like. Like people would be like, make it a wand.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really just for her, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you don't think that's a standardized tool in that
No,
industry? In
well,
the
maybe but
memory
there's like
creation
3 of them
industry?
probably.
I don't know. It seems like they
In
got
fact,
to be
there-
kind of...
she might be the only one.
Oh, she's the one of the popular ones. She says that
Oh,
she
you're
gets
right, yeah.
hired by Wallace a lot.
You're right. Yeah.
And that's because, she's fucking boring and doesn't go outside like a loser. So she has a lot of time on
Yeah,
her
she's
hands.
a loser. That's what makes her special.
Yeah, she's a loser.
She
That's
is
what makes her
way cooler
goofy.
than the genetic designer we're introduced to in the first one that Pris and Roy live with. That creepy dude that builds
Oh,
toys that come alive. That dude is super weird.
That sounds
what
creepy.
is that guy's name? He's from Deadwood.
His name in the movie is J.F. Sebastian, but I'm sure you're talking about the actor.
Yeah. I do remember that guy. You don't like that guy?
Well, no,
He's-
I'm saying if we're
he has
calling
like an
this
age
girl
disease.
weird, yeah, like that guy. Yeah, that's true. He was like supposed to be 25, but
He had
looked
like
a
an
lot
age
older.
disease, and that's why he was all fucked up, because he was just like he couldn't live in society like normal society.
I love
so
toys.
he literally had like the
I
same.
designed your eyes.
He had like the same real basic plot or character as the girl. He was like he didn't live with society because of his disease or whatever, and so in order to make up for that, he made all these fucking toys.
And that I did enjoy his soft spot for the replicants.
I
Like
like
when
that
when he did meet Roy, he was just like infatuated and impressed. It's like, wow, you're the what is it? Then the first one, Nexus 5 or some lesser number than
Lecture 6.
6.
Yeah, I like that. He was just he was impressed. He wanted to get down.
Wasn't
He
gonna
was
rat
"Let's
him out."
orgy it up.
What?
Is that not where that was going? You guys?
Was
Oh,
she
wait,
actually
she-
sick?
Pris was kind of all over.
Did she
him.
No,
actually
I don't-
have?
I don't think she
Yeah,
was
did she
actually
actually have that disease that would
No.
like kill her if she was outside or
I
whatever?
don't
I think it was
so.
a
I think that was
cover.
made
That's
up.
kind of what I was
Well, you
feeling.
know
Like
what?
she didn't have. They just lied.
Actually,
to
I don't
her,
think
or
they
she
ever
was lying.
say. It's just like implied that. Well, of course she doesn't.
Okay.
Because that's crazy, right?
Well, because she's an android or half android at the very least, which means she's probably
Not that fucked up on the inside,
exactly like.
or extra fucked up on
Or
the
extra
inside.
I guess
up.
could be very true. Yeah.
She's not really supposed to be born.
Yo, another scene that was fucking cool as shit that I really like. That scene with Lieutenant Yoshi, whatever her name was, and Love Yo. And she's like, she has like the fucking
Oh, yeah,
glass
she's
buzz.
just
She
like-
grabs her hand. She's like, and she fucking kills her. Which I kind of didn't see that killing part coming, but
I did.
I wanted to talk about that, but I couldn't remember if she killed her
Oh, she
because I had
definitely
a
just-
question.
She just straight up stabbed her.
I remember that scene, and what is there like any repercussions or implications of?
No, because
Yeah,
love,
that-
love, like essentially doesn't
Love was
exist.
like, I'll tell him that you attacked me
Yeah,
or some shit.
basically, she's like, I'll tell him that you pulled your gun on me, and then I'll be allowed to use self-defense. And then she
I
just
think
straight up
it's
fucking
supposed to
killed her.
show how much influence she had because
that
like-
Wallace has,
or that Wallace
and that
has.
through
Okay.
him
Because
she has.
she even pushes like a panic button and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
She
right.
pushes a panic, and then she's like, and then in the like middle of the scene, the police woman just realizes like, well, I'm fucked, but it's too late.
Dude, she went out like a fucking boss.
She knew
though.
she was
She was
fucked.
like, she didn't even like, she wasn't even like, oh, this fucking, like, you could tell like a little bit, but like it was, like, man, my hand was getting crushed with some fucking glass in it, and it's getting crushed by some android's fucking strong sound. I'm like, oh, okay, that's enough. Fuck! Stop! She was like, oh, look at me in my fucking eyes, bitch. I will not even wince. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Fuck your shit. Oh, you gonna kill me? I don't give a fuck!
What's crazy is like, what was she even fighting for? But
To protect
Humanity
Kay.
and to protect
Yeah, I
Kay,
guess
which
to
again,
Because she was looking
she's
for
in love with
Kay.
Kay. Yo. I think
Yeah.
she's in love
Yeah, I
with
guess
Kay.
She
you're
just
right.
genuinely cares about him, so she wanted to protect him as long as she could.
I think that's what it's trying to imply is that she's in love with Kay.
I thought
And
she was trying to keep the covered up,
yeah, she was doing
but I
that.
guess that's hand in hand with what Kay was doing.
Yeah. Because she knew he was fucking around doing stuff he wasn't supposed to, so she was like, fuck it. I loved the fucking, like, little check-ins that he had.
I was about to say, didn't
Oh,
like
that was dope.
that. That
You
really
didn't like-
bothered me because I didn't understand what was going on.
It's
was
The first time he did, I didn't know he was a replicant still. So I was like, why are they doing this to him? Why is he answering so fast? What the hell is he doing?
It's so they can measure all his like stress and emotional like tics and triggers and things. And if he doesn't say the right thing, right, they're like, all right, you're outside the borders.
The baseline,
Of
yeah,
your-
they
outside
get
your
like a
baseline.
baseline of where he should be emotionally, I guess, and then they have him answer the same shit over and over again, I guess. And if he does it like a little bit differently, then it's out of the baseline.
Yeah, if
I'm
it's
just saying,
elevated,
it
all
felt
then they
really
know.
stressful and fast.
That
and
was the
like,
point.
He was
That
just
was the
saying
point, yeah.
nonsense words back at him.
I think the point was just that it's supposed to be like shotgun. It's sort of like say the first thing that comes to your mind,
Mm.
try and get what you think. I think that's the whole idea.
Yeah, he's
I
not
thought it was
allowed
really
to
cool,
have
actually.
time. Yeah.
I liked in the original one they did that kind of shit too, like where they were trying to tell if they're replicants.
The weight comp test or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was fucking dope.
It's also in Ready Player One.
Oh,
They
the
spoil that shit now.
I was reminded of the Leon's interview, the android from the first one, where he's like asking all his questions and Leon's answering real fast and like real aggressive, and then he's asking about my mother. What about my mother? Any memories? And then he like goes on the thing about you're in the desert and there's a tortoise on your back, and what do you do? And he just like says another question and like shoots him or something. 'Cause he's like about
Yeah.
to get found out.
He's like,
Yeah, he
"Fuck
knows
it,
he's
I'm
about to
down."
get found out, so he just shoots him.
But yeah, that was like
The crazy thing about that is that that's like in a police station.
yeah.
Like, how does he get away with that?
Well, I think that one was it wasn't in a police station. I think the detective was undercover interviewing employees, screening employees or something.
Oh, you're right.
I
You're
think he
right.
was at whatchamacallit's agency actually.
Why do I remember the first one better than the one I just saw? This is weird.
Good question.
It's equally drunk for both of them.
Fucking the bees. He sees the bees. That's how he finds Decker.
That was a big
Yeah,
one.
those are bees.
Wildlife was there.
And the
Oh, it was
statue.
fucking huge.
I geeked out when he sticks his hand in and it's just like covered in fucking bees.
Oh,
Hey, like, what are you doing,
Oh,
man?
right.
You silly android.
He doesn't give a fuck. But that was good. There's plenty of whiskey.
Which I fucking love that, yo.
I'd noticed it like when he looked at the bar and they were just piled up, and I'm like, yep, that makes sense. It seems like something Decker would do.
A lot of silence to cut out.
I was real sad when his electronic girlfriend got killed.
Me too.
His
Even
little-
though you found out at the end that she was pretty much just saying whatever he needed her to say.
Well, I mean, yeah, she was pretty much programmed to work that way, but it's like, you know, it's still unfair.
Well, that was. Sort
But
of a
also,
question,
she
too.
was different. She did say different things and seemed to kind of like glitch sometimes and be
I don't-
kind of just out of sync with
I
it.
think that was like a question that I had the entire time. In that, I mean, it was specifically, I think not telling you the answer to that
Well, I think
because at the end where the lady comes down, she's like, "Hey, Joe, what's going on?" And it's sort of like, "Oh, fuck, that's what she always called him. That's what Joy always called him was Joe." But at the same time, she did a lot of things that didn't really make sense if you were like a programmed person, AI or something. Like she specifically asked him to take her away from the whatever, cut
Safety.
her off. She specifically tried to save him like 3 times or something. I mean, she did a lot of shit that doesn't really add up.
Yeah, I think the point is like it's supposed to be unclear for us because it's unclear for him,
Yeah, I think
and
you're
he
right.
probably questions it, even though he's not supposed to question it or fall in love with anything in the first place. So I think that's why he starts it, and then he starts to feel it's different. And so since he's confused about that, the entire situation is confusing
Yeah,
to
yeah,
us.
you're right.
I
And
was-
sorry. The only thing that might be like pretty good confirmation is that end part where she says Joe. She calls him Joe. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like, yeah, she was just fucking with you the whole time, or she was just, an AI the whole time that had no real feelings for you and couldn't. I'm not really sure how that played out.
It's one of those annoying, like, you're supposed to come up with that. No, you wrote the story. Tell me the fucking story. I don't want to write my own story. I'm lazy.
I was gonna bring this scene up with her when Josh was talking about the one he really liked, because I liked how this one played out when they were in the rain together, and they were kind of getting intimate in this, and then all of a sudden she just turns into like, boom, you have a voicemail on your thing, and like you're like, wow, this isn't someone to be intimate with. This is a tool. This is like his damn cell phone, you know? Like,
yeah.
that kind of like really disconnected it from me. But as they just said, you know, it went over the movie, and she did do a lot of things that showed she cared. But I kind of was like very weird.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's
disconnect from there.
that whole point of that scene is literally just be like, remember, she is.
Oh my god!
AI.
One of my
Or-
favorite
That's so sad,
fucking
too.
visual things is like when she first walks out into the rain and it starts to like catch up like on her skin. I was like, oh, that's
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
that
fucking
was
cool.
cool. Also, the scene where he wrecks out in the
So I like that scene.
when he wrecks out in the L.A. or
Flying
whatever.
car.
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah,
Who knows?
San Diego.
Uh,
San Diego.
Well, he wrecks out there because he gets whatever
Wells,
shot down,
Regina.
and like she's like freaking out. She's like, jump, jump, jump. Like that. Yeah, that shit was awesome too, man. God damn, this movie's visuals are just fucking
Amazing.
insane. It's really good.
That made me sad too, because I just like all the stuff with her made me kind of sad, because I was like, damn, this isn't real.
And she can't help
Because
either.
it was like glitching, you know. It's just like, ah.
Well, I think it's supposed to like it's a reminder to like, oh, this isn't real, and it's like, oh, he isn't real either. It's like, but is he?
Yeah.
But is she?
Should he be? Does he deserve something real, even if he's not, you know, completely synthetic?
Or like from the first one, androids better than humans.
Yeah. It's like, is it
Or
a step
more
in
human?
evolution or is it like a co-evolution?
More human than human. Yeah.
That's our motto. I gotta say, Wallace or Tyrell, who did it better?
Tyrell at a pyramid.
No, maybe not the bots, the people. Like, who is the better mad scientist? Because I think Tyrell was so much better than Jared
Yeah.
Leto. No
I
offense
don't
to
think it's
him.
because. Yeah, I was going to say. I don't think it's because that's just how Jared Leto's character was written.
Yeah, I don't think he
Not
was bad.
that Jared Leto was bad.
I just the original Tyrell was
he
so
probably
fucking
made
kooky.
several from what I've heard about the way Jared Leto works and stuff. It's like he does weird shit all the time.
Yeah,
So he probably
Well,
made
'cause
that
he gets
character
the
weirder.
and shit. But
That's not an ex-
well,
that's an
what
excuse.
I think what he's saying though is just like as a character,
As the
like,
character.
as like whereas
definitely
Jared
s-
Leto's was much more like he thinks he's a fucking
God, yeah, yeah. Have you ever met a CEO? I
Yeah.
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
how
mean,
they
yeah.
fucking act.
but I'm saying whereas Tyrell,
He like had a lot of. I mean, they both loved him, but I feel like Tyrell had like a lot of respect.
yeah,
Like when Roy visits him, and he's just like, "You're beautiful,"
you're
like,
beautiful. I love
and
you.
he crushes his eyes out, of course. But
Yeah.
I don't know why Roy did that. I have that question about that movie.
I think he was just angry. He was pissed
Oh,
off.
he was just mad.
I need
That's
to
right.
watch that movie.
It's pretty good. You would
Which
be-
cut should I watch?
If you
Who
the
knows?
2008
Man, I
Who
don't
one,
know.
fucking knows?
There's 8 of them.
probably the newer one. Looks
Newer
a little
one.
nicer.
It's like 2007 they did one. Something like that.
I don't know
Um,
which one I watched.
And I think you're probably right with Tyrell. Like the cool thing about Tyrell is that like Wallace is sort of like he's trying to he's kind of like vision for the future guy. He's sort of
Wallace
like Steve
wants
Jobs, like
Wallace wants like quantity, and Tyrell wanted quality.
yeah,
a good
you're right.
point.
Yeah,
That's a very good
and
one.
Tyrell was just looking like these things are just the best shit. He was like a hobbyist almost, like whereas Wallace was
Is
trying
this your owl?
to do what?
They have the owl. That
Oh,
Deckard,
yeah,
Deckard,
yeah.
like on the first, it's like a weird thing he comments on.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently that's a weird thing
Wallace
in
just
the
wanted- Go ahead.
in the books or the book. I saw like a what's the difference? How animals are in the books. Everybody's trying to get like a real animal because all there are replica animals. Well, everybody's trying to get an animal in general because it helps like you show empathy essentially. So everybody wants an animal, and like the main, I think Deckard in that, I think his main goal is just like get a goat. He wants like a real goat. That's like what he wants in life is to get a goat.
Oh yeah, and then the captain guy's like, I can get you a goat. Do you want a goat? I'm not the
It's
captain
probably
anymore.
a shout out to him. Yeah. He's talking about when he's looking at the horse or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That scene with the
The
skinny
wood,
dude.
the real wood.
Yeah, he has the real wood. He's like, oh, that's real wood. I'll get you a fucking horse.
Oh yeah,
I'll
yeah.
get you a goat.
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. That's like an interesting thing that I don't think really exactly made it into the movies, but that's pretty cool.
What about Love and Kay's fight? Thought that was fantastic.
Oh, and the fucking ship, that was great. The pacing, the fucking choreography,
the water.
fucking yeah. But see, because it was hectic, but it was slow.
Yeah.
Because it was like Decker's just said,
Yeah, it's pretty funny how he's just
Over
like
here.
slowly.
I don't know what you want from
he's-
me to
he's
do here.
slowly going into the ocean or whatever the water, and then they're just like kind of fighting it out, and they're not really they're taking their time, honestly. Like, she's, like, taking time to trash talk him and shit.
She's like, I'm
Even
better
though
than
she
you.
needs him alive, she's like, trash talk him, and she's like, all right, we're cool. I'll go back now. It's funny.
Because I told you, I'm under the impression that K is a Nexus 8. He was like a later model of Nexus 8, but I'm pretty sure he was still one of Tyrell's creations.
Okay.
And she is obviously Wallace's creation. That's why she was like, I'm better than you. Like,
Yeah, she had a lot more like obsessive, like negative quirks. Like she would get obsessive. She was violent. She was like,
she definitely wasn't perfect. Like, what is up with that? Like, she had lots of like quirks like that. Like, she was fucking crying, you know, like.
I mean, that could be like, like that could be like that actual
joke.
like, no, just because like her program was just looser. Like she wasn't as tight and like well put together as like Kay was, because Kay was like, well, Kay was also a cop bot. Like he was built to stop, think, measure everything, go. And then hers could just be like a custom built for Wallace, who's like, she's my fucking Wetworks like bot. So she doesn't really need to be like, you know, socially acceptable.
I told Jared earlier this week that scene gave me super strong, like, Camino platform from Star Wars vibes where they make the clones originally. You know, it's always raining there, and, like, just they were on that kind of, like, slanted metal, too.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I just felt it.
Especially
visually,
when,
it really was.
Man, like when Jango Fett and Obi-Wan are
that's
fighting.
what-
Exactly.
That's like a very similar scene. Yeah.
I saw, like, oh, man, just the way the rain is hitting that.
Or was it Boba Fett? Who
No,
Boba
no,
Fett?
it was
It's
Jango.
Jango.
It was
Jango's
Jango?
the
Okay,
older
yeah.
one.
Bubba was the little kid.
The boy that was in
Get him, Dad.
Get him, Dad!
Yeah, that was him.
What a fucking loser.
That guy will never do anything in his life.
Nuh-uh.
I'm not talking about the kid. I don't
Unless
want
it's
to put down
in
a kid.
Star Wars Battlefront and I'm piloting that ship, then he does great. Even though I traded that game in months ago. Let's talk about Destiny 2.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to Destiny 2.
Okay.
Which we probably will do a podcast on, actually, because we kind of want to do some games on this. But we'll see. Anything else anyone wants to talk about?
I just think overall it's a really solid movie. And that if you don't like low dialogue movies, you're going to hate it. And if you don't mind those, then you're going to like it.
I think if you're an idiot, you're going to hate it.
Well, I
That's
mean,
a bit forward, but I agree.
I agree that if you're an idiot, you don't like it. But I also think even if you do understand it, you still might not like it, depending on what you're expecting.
True.
That's what my point earlier was. Like, yeah, there are people out there who just aren't going to understand it and they're not going to like it. But that's not it. There are people who will get it, and it's not a movie they're looking to watch, which is fair. Go watch Ghost in the Shell. That came out, right?
Fuck that movie.
I never
Fuck
saw
everything
it.
about that movie.
Yeah, when he brought Rachel back as a android or whatever, what did y'all think about?
That's fucked up.
Well, not only the scene being fucked up, but I mean, how did you think she looked? Because I mean, that was like
I haven't seen the
CGI
first
like a
one,
motherfucker.
but
oh, okay.
but I did feel like well, obviously, like she was different than every person in the scene. Like she didn't look like something was off. So I felt like something was off. Like the same as they do when they have like a young version of old actors like every single time.
Yeah,
Like-
They're trying to
just
do
the
that.
Star Wars
Like
line just had-
Arnold Terminator, fucking Star Wars has been doing it. Like they're getting better at it, but it always seems off.
They are getting better at it. I know when we saw Rogue One, and they had Moff Tarkin, and well, I knew that actor was dead, so I
Yeah,
immediately was
yeah.
like, "Oh, that's CGI." I was like, "It's pretty good, but it's clearly CGI." And then after the movie, I was like, "So what did you think about Moff Tarkin being CGI?" Josh was like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
I was like, that's not a real guy. That's a CGI character."
And then but that lady though, that's the same lady from the original movies, and she has not changed at all.
What? That's the same lady.
No, lady wearing the white.
Leia?
No, he's talking about the
Star Wars.
redhead.
Yeah.
The short hair redhead, the like general.
Oh, you're
or
talking
whatever.
about Masamita? No,
I think that's her name. I don't know her name at all.
not
actually,
Masamita.
so I can't
Masamita is
say
the
yes
blue
or no.
guy. Oh, man.
You know who I'm talking
I know
about.
you're talking
That's
about.
the exact same
The
lady.
other woman in
The
Star Wars.
exact same fucking lady.
It's not the same lady.
Are you sure?
It's the same lady who plays there's original in the original Star Wars. Then there's ones who played it in the prequels, I think. And she's is the one who's been doing it lately.
Oh,
But
okay.
she just looks,
A
or at
lot.
least acts like the fucking original.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, we do. We looked
No,
it
nobody
Jared
knows.
just proved it.
No, I don't think anybody knows. I think it's just a mystery across the board.
All right, it's a
and we'll never know.
That's what we do.
I can't believe I can't remember her name. She's in like every new Star Wars book I read now. She's a huge character.
Well, maybe your head's just filled with all that,
All that Blade
extra
Runner
ass
stuff.
nerd fucking knowledge.
Yeah.
Reading those Star Wars books. Fly a drone sometime.
Yeah, you're right. I should fly a drone.
Get some new
Overall,
experiences.
Yeah, he's getting ready, man. He's about to fly with these fucking
Is
flying
it drone
cars.
week
One
right now?
one of these days, I'm gonna fly that drone.
Overall, fantastic movie. I fucking loved it. 9.8 out of 10 or 9.5
Same.
out of 10, whatever the fuck I gave it. Super fucking awesome. I'm definitely gonna let Jared buy it.
Next podcast is gonna be just as interesting and just as fun. Tune in later.
Exactly.
You should use that as a promo. That's great.
That's good, yeah.
Exactly.
We're
yeah.
probably going to be doing.
Stranger Things.
Oh, hell yeah.
definitely.
Fucking Stranger Things. Also, we're probably going to be doing Way of Kings and Words of Radiance.
Yes.
At some point, we're probably going to do those.
Books for what?
Books by Brandon Sanderson.
It's a Stormlight Archive.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I tried to read one of those. A couple.
Yeah, we really like them, so we're probably going to do those because Oathbringer, the third one in the series, is coming out.
Okay.
Besides that, anything else?
I mean, just all the good movies, Stranger Things. Mike could do Mindhunters.
Mm,
Well, Mindhunters. I forgot who said
mean-
they watched it or was watching it.
I'm like looking at you like, you gonna tell me what that is?
I looked at Payne and was like, Mindhunters, and I could see just no recognition on his face. I went, oh wait, that was Tyler that was talking about that. Mindhunters.
oh, I don't know. Mindhunters is more of a like it's kind of a factual show. I don't know. I haven't really double checked it.
I've only listened to half the
It's
first
basically
episode,
it's
so
a
I
new
don't know.
Netflix show about like the
Serial
development of serial killers and like classifying them as serial killers by the FBI. But it's not like a
Yeah, that
documentary.
might not
It's
be really the best show to do.
it's real boring and real slow. If you want to do a psych podcast, man, I'll go get my notes.
Thank you for coming to the Brothers Woods podcast. Probably futurely named the Brothers Woods Club because we're going to make some name changes. However, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, listening. I guess you're not watching, but listening. I love your faces. Payne loves you. Tyler hates you. And Jared
Damn.
is neutral on the subject. And we'll see you next time.
Why do I have to
Thanks
be the
for
bad
having
guy?
me.
I'm a good person.
I mean, it kind of fits your character, though. I'm sorry. We got sticks.
Oh, we got our shticks.
Wow.
or as it sounded when I was watching it.
Yeah, that'll show up.
That's,
That'll show up. I think.
That was the point. That was the point. I saw it in a shitty theater.